Okay. I'm calling this the real deal. I know that you probably, watched a dozen of these things, if not more, in the last 3 or 4 days, where you get everything from the CDC to so-called alternative. Yeah, touched my face. I'm sorry. So-called alternative media coming with you with all kinds of information on the COVID-19 or China virus or whatever you want to call it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some hard, cold facts, and they're not really horrifying. They're just common sense facts. And if you listen to the common sense facts, then you'll fare well. And if you don't listen, then you might not. I want you to think about the last time you had the cold or flu or intestinal virus or whatever like that. And you wondered back and how'd you catch it? And you remember back, and of course you knew how you caught it. You caught it from that guy that was at the party or come over to the house that was rubbing his nose and he had a cold or he was sneezing, and you kept a little distance. You didn't kiss him on the lips or anything like that. You didn't think much about it. You hoped for the best, and about 4 days later, you woke up with a sore throat and body aches and then a fever, and then you went through the customary 10 days to 2 weeks of Tylenol, aspirin, hot coffee, or whatever to help you get over it. Okay, this is the same thing. No matter what you may hear about the coronavirus, it is still just a virus. That's all it is. Okay? And it doesn't motivate. I've checked Texas Department of Motor Vehicles, and I have not found yet where one coronavirus has applied for a driver's license. They do not own a car. You have to come in contact with the virus. Now, how do you come in contact with it? Originally, we were told that when somebody sneezes, it can only go 6 feet. First, it was 3 feet, or they use meters over there in Europe or whatever. But 3 feet, then 6 feet, and it falls to the ground. It can only live for so long and all that. Now we're learning that this thing can become airborne. Now, not like the measles or like that, where it can become airborne in one house and drift over to the house next door, but airborne to the point where it can go to a state where it's light enough to float in the air for a bit of time. And if you breathe it in, then you're going to have the virus inside your body, and that's not a good thing. But the main thing is, when they say shelter in place, there was a king in England, James the something or other, and during the Black Plague, he sheltered in place. Consequently, he lived. Shakespeare wrote Macbeth and King Lear while under quarantine for the Black Plague. Okay, I myself am sheltered in place to the 9th level. I've been alone since Monday. You might have read my article where I had to have a lady leave here. Well, she left on her own accord. I told her we were going to have to shelter in place and that we were going to have to ride this thing out, and she could not stay away from the game rooms. She had to go to the game rooms. She said, I got to get back to them streets. Well, she went back to them streets. And the governor promptly shut down the streets, and now she's in the streets. And that's the way it's going to be. So I get begging calls from her, another young lady needing a place to live, and they want to eat my food, and they want to sleep in my bed, and they want to use my shower, and they're not going to. Simple. Because I have not had a live human being in this house except me since early Monday morning. So if I give the coronavirus an outside chance of living on a hard surface, it's probably dead. Not to mention that I even heard, I watched a video today it was an audio actually, where a lady was explaining the things that you do to not get this thing. And it was the usual stuff: wash your hands, stay away from crowds, shelter in place, and all that. But she mentioned if you have gone out and you've touched anything with your clothes, then you need to wash your clothes, wash yourself, and put on clean clothes. Well, I did go to Specs. I got an ample supply of whiskey, which you might, well, if you can, you might want to do that, or vodka. Take a couple of shots a day because that clears your throat, and the coronavirus can't stand it. But anyway, I got a bad leg, so when I go into Specs, which is our local liquor store, I ride a little cart, and I run around, and I get my supplies, and I run back. So my seat touched the seat on, my nose itches, on the cart. Now, not many people ride the cart, but obviously someone besides myself has ridden that cart. So once I heard that she said that, I immediately got up and I took my clothes off and I threw them in the washing machine on hot no matter what the fabric was, with two little pods, two Tide Pods, not one. And I went to the bathroom, and let's see if I can get this scratch without scratching my nut. There you go. Yeah, I'm paranoid. Anyway, I went to the bathroom with their clean clothes that were in the dryer at the time. That had been there since Monday. Okay, and I took a nice 20-minute shower in hot water. That's why my skin turned so red, including my hair. And then I put the clean clothes on, and I came and put the clothes in the washer in the dryer, which they will sit until I decide to put them on. Okay. I also got crazy enough the other night. I was watching the Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston, and it had the scene where they put lamb's blood on the door sills and everything like that. And I remembered that I had about a pound of ground lamb in the box. I won't eat lamb if I'm starving to death. I hate it. I ate it in New York one time, and I hated it then. I hate it now. That's why this lamb has been in the refrigerator for a year. But I put it out on a piece of butcher paper that I had and let it unthaw, for the dog. I was going to feed the dog. The next morning I got up, and there was a lamb unthawed on the butcher paper with a nice supply of blood right under it. So I microwaved it for the dog, and I gave the dog the lamb. And then I looked at the butcher paper, and I took a rag, and I wiped up the butcher paper with the rag. And I took it out, and I put it on my door sill. Hey, well, who's going to know and what if it works, So, we all have our crazy moments. That was one of mine. But the thing is, like I said, you have to obey what the CDC says. They are figuring it out as we go along. Wash your hands. And when I go and make a cup of coffee, I have a spoon that's sitting right beside my coffee pot. And I pour the coffee, and I take that spoon that nobody has touched except me, okay? And I stir in my chocolate syrup into my coffee. I put the coffee spoon down, and then I wash my hands again because I touched the spoon. I have some hydrogen peroxide spray because somebody in my drifters coming through here stole my Clorox cleanup. But hydrogen peroxide works real good. Every time I go to the door to take supplies that are being delivered to me by my wife in Utah, by the Mormon Church, by the VA people, and by other friends dropping them off on my porch, I will bring the box in, spray the box with peroxide, spray my hands, unpack the box, put the stuff up, and go wash my hands again. You've got to keep doing that while this is going on. It's as simple as that. Now, staying in place, I've got some friends. You see how paranoid I am? My nose is itching. I've got some friends that insist on, I've just got to have milk. I've just got to have eggs. I just can't do this. I just can't do this. Well, I can. I lived in Ancasita Wells off and on for a considerable amount of time, alone in Death Valley. Okay. And so being alone doesn't bother me. I'm a writer, and I get into whatever I'm writing, and my friends are in that story. So I'm alone. But that's what's going to get you sick. You sit for 5 or 6 days, and you get up one morning, you just can't stand it anymore, and you just got to run to the supermarket. Why? There's nothing there. If you're going down there to get bread or eggs or toilet paper, you're not going to get it because it's not there. Because the public panic has already taken it. Forget it. You worry about toilet paper? You ever got a shower in your bathroom? Sit down in the morning, take your dump, make sure you pinch that loaf real good, and then jump in the shower, and then clean the bottom of the shower off after you jump in the shower. It'd actually be better for you. You'll be cleaner. These are the things that we're going to have to do. We're going to be different people. When this is over, there's going to be a different human race in America. And Americans, for all of our loud talk about America the Beautiful and all that kind of stuff, look how we panicked at a simple virus. Now, I'm not saying it's not a serious disease. I'm not saying it's not bad, okay? What I'm saying is, it's only killed about 300 people. There's been that many shootings in Chicago since this mess started. Only 300 people. And that shut us down. That shut Wall Street down. That shut the schools down. That shut the churches down. That shut everything down. 300 people. That's it. That's how weak we truly were. That's how weak we truly were. people panic because they can't buy a loaf of bread. But they've got flour and baking powder, water, and salt in their house. And they just can't understand when you mix those things together and you make them into a loaf and put them in the oven, it turns into bread. If you've got a knife, it turns into sliced bread. These are realities. Now, the other good thing I want to tell you is this will go away. It will go away. It has a natural curve. China, which is a whole other subject I'll address, according to their statistics, and even if they're half lying, they've got to the other side of this. Now, their measures were extreme. Japan's measures weren't so extreme, and they got the same results. And Russia, oh my God, oh my God. Russia has beat this, and nobody knows how. Vodka. Okay. But the thing is, we will get to the other side of this. But then, after we do, you need to keep your habits. I made several decisions. I talked to some friends today, and they said I was a little over the edge and everything, but I will never, ever go into a Walmart again. I'll shop at H-E-B, which is our grocery store here in Texas, because they do not buy from China. Nothing. Not even a pair of shoes. H-E or Walmart does. I will never shop at H-E-B again. I'll never walk through their doors. I will never go to another movie. I will never go to a sit-down restaurant where somebody prepares my food and brings it out that I don't see prepare my food. That's why, and I'm never going to break those habits. I'm going to keep those habits. I am always going to be looking. We have a aisle at H-E-B called the You Better Cook It Today or Freeze It aisle, and you can get like 8 pork chops for $5.09, $6, whatever. And I'll be always shopping there, filling up my freezer with fresh meat. I'll always be keeping canned goods going on. I will hit food banks whenever I can to always prepare, because next year, every year, we get an import from China. It may be poisonous children's toys. It may be tainted dog food. Every year, we get something from China that's tainted in some way. I will not deal with China. When I go to any store and I'm going to purchase something, I will look at made in, and it better say United States, Canada, Mexico, even Mexico. It says China, I'm going to put it back on the shelf and sanitize my hands, because this is where it's coming from, folks. They are filthy, filthy people. Filthy people. I saw a film of that place in, I think it's Wuhan or whatever it is, where they had that food mart, and they had dogs in cages and bats and snakes. Okay, that's why we've got this going on. Now, another thing that is this a military arranged virus? No, not entirely. It was something that was being studied, I guess, by Harvard. It was studied in Wuhan and everything. And God knows why these people, we beat smallpox years ago, but they kept the virus to study it. We need to address these people, okay? But anyway, I think it just got out. I think it was God's joke on humanity to teach us a lesson, really. They're over there messing with this thing. It's this deadly, and it just got out into one of the filthiest cities in the entire world, and it went like wildfire. Now, look at Russia. Look at Israel. Look at Japan. It can be controlled. It will go. It's going to go away. It is going to go away. But if you've got millennials in your house, or people, kids that just can't stand to sit still and watch TV and ride it out, and they just got to go out, well, you're going to be a victim. You're going to be a victim. Because the one thing I've seen is nobody knows exactly how contagious this thing is. Nobody knows that. They got a pretty good idea. I mean, the fact is, you got to touch the virus to catch the virus. That's a fact. But how far can it float when it becomes aerosol? How many has to go in your nose before you actually catch it? What are the actual events? Right now, it goes in. If it gets in your lungs, it turns the mucus in your lungs into a kind of plaster of Paris. You know, we don't know these things yet. We will know in a short order. But right now, we don't know. But the thing is it is going to. That's how I'm scratching my nose. It will pass. But Keep your habits. After this thing goes away, keep your habits. Wash your hands all the time. Thank you, Julie. Keep your hands clean all the time. You should have been doing that anyway. I do that every year during flu season. I had the flu about 5 years ago, and I said never again. I watch the maps on the internet when the flu hits, and I watch the maps, the little red dots start coming together, and see where it's at the most and everything. When Texas gets covered up, I don't go to the store as often. I wash my hands all the time. I don't let anybody in the house. I do the same exact things that I'm doing right now for this virus, and you need to also. If we do that, if we shelter in place for 35 days from the time this mess started, and you've been sheltered in place, just count 35 days, you will see a downturn in the infection rate. Because like I said, I already checked with the Department of Motor Vehicles. No virus has bought a car yet. You got to go and find it, and you got to bring it home. And that's a fact. That's the way it truly is. That's all I'm going to scare you tonight. That's all I'm going to say and everything. Pass this video around. Do not listen to the so-called alternative media. Drink hot salt water and you won't drink hot salt water, your saline level will go through the roof. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Spray bleach down the back of your throat. Don't do that. Just don't go out and bring it home. That's all you got to do. I got a payment from somebody yesterday. $850, a cash payment. They deliver it every month. They put it out here on my porch, and I pick it up. I picked it up with tongs. I microwaved it for 30 seconds, and then I put it in my wallet. And this is a little extreme, but that's what it's going to take to live. That's what it's going to take if we're going to, because if I get sick, I'm going to make somebody else sick. It's not so much me. I live in a neighborhood full of elderly people, okay? I had a bunch of people in the house. They're all gone. That last girl, she was just the last one. But all these other idiots were gone, and they've been gone for up to 15 days. Girl left on Monday. This house is sanitized. I got a year's supply of Vienna sausage that's been sent to me. I got Spam. I know it ain't good for your heart. All that kind of stuff. I have a bunch of fresh meat from the butcher that I bought the other day. I went and, you made runs on toilet paper. I made runs on Canadian Mist at the Specs Liquor Store. All right. Because I did know one thing. That alcohol cures viruses. Yep, sure does. So you take a couple shots of Canadian Mist, a little water, and everything like that. It's probably going to be good. I know it's not politically correct. I know you don't want to hear it. But that is, okay. Yes, Julie, I believe in Texas you can go to the liquor store and be, you say you're going to the pharmacy and that's your pharmacy. That's what I'm not going to run out for a full minute. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to run out for a full minute. But when I do, and that was what's so funny. If they close the liquor stores, which they're not, if they close the liquor stores, you have all these people going into alcoholic withdrawal and everything. Well, I won't. I'll just drink coffee with that chocolate syrup, and when I can get back to the liquor store, I'll go and supply up again. Okay? It's as simple as that. Stay safe. Stay close. Don't get cabin fever. Binge on Netflix. Okay? Read my articles. That's always a good thing. Read my articles. Until next time, and I won't be doing one of these every day. I'm putting up a lot of stuff on this, but the reason I did this was I was watching everybody else put these Facebook videos up, and there was just a lot of crap. Either sensationalism or somebody saying, well, it's just a common cold and the government's just doing it to take away our constitutional rights. It was all a lot of crap. It's a real virus. It's not a flu. They want to call it a flu, but it's something a little more than a flu. But it's still just a virus. That's all it is. Don't go get it. It won't come and let itself in your door. It's that simple. Okay? Until next time, over and out.